So, hey everybody, it's Real Live TV here. We have lots of carpenters coming in and coming out, but I am going to step you through waffle making class 101. That's okay, the dog's a dog. So first off, as we go through here, if you have questions for me, go ahead and just put them in the comments because my sweet Erin is sitting behind the scenes and she's going to read them to me so that I can answer them as we're interacting. Doesn't necessarily mean I can see them, but she'll let me know. I'm glad you're here. Why don't we start out with, go ahead and just heat up your waffle maker right now. I have mine on the counter. Oh, it's nice and hot, ready to go. And then I'm just gonna step you through this whole thing. So you should have the recipe out. In the event that you don't, I'm just gonna go through the ingredients. And then while one of the batches is cooking up in the waffle maker, like these are some I made already, so my house already smells awesome. I just made these about a half hour ago. See, right there? I'm gonna step you through like how we can use psyllium husk as an exchange. So that way, if you don't have the unflavored fiber that I use, I mean, I am always a fan of just use what you have. So if you don't have what I have, let's see if we can't find something that you can substitute with at your grocery store so that you're able to still make the waffles with the high fiber, because that's the part that we want. So here are my ingredients. Now again, use what you have. So I have this unflavored, I have this fiber powder, protein powder. So this one is by ID Life. It's vanilla. Use whatever it is that you have. I happen to like it because it's grass fed and no extra anything. It's just simple protein and it tastes great. Use what you have at your house. Okay, so we need a protein powder. Now, if you have unflavored fiber pouches, that's what I use. If you have something like psyllium husk in the house, that's another great fiber. If you don't have anything right now, just leave it out. That's something you can grow into. Maybe after I teach you how to make these waffles, it might be something you want to add to your grocery list. So another thing you could do is pulverize Gigi crackers. It's going to change the nutritional information. It's going to change the texture, but I want you to get the fiber in. So just however we do it. Okay, another thing we need is baking powder. Make sure it's powder, not soda. We need some type of oil. I use MCT oil. I use this one by Nutivina. Use coconut oil. Use what you have. So then we also want some, I use the Fage brand. I use the 0% milk fat Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt's easier on my system, has a little bit of protein in there. So this is the one that I have. Again, if you have strawberry Greek yogurt in the house right now, and we can just give it a whirl. See how they turn out. All right, next thing you're gonna need are your eggs and then vanilla. So let's make sure we have those ingredients. Let me read them out again, because maybe right now you're running around the house scrambling. You're plugging in the waffle maker, getting it nice and hot. Grab out your eggs, grab out your Greek yogurt out of the fridge, protein powder, unflavored fiber or psyllium husk. Out of the, I'm pointing to where I keep my MCT oil and coconut oil. Out of that cupboard, get your vanilla, get your baking powder, get your MCT oil, get your cooking spray. Now it's getting harder for me to find cooking spray right now at the store, but when possible, I try to get avocado oil cooking spray. That's what this one is. This is by Pam. The reason is it has a higher smoke point, which means it's not gonna get that rancid, oily smell quite as early. So for those of us newbie cookers, you know what else I seem to need when I'm making these? I need a whisk, because I whisk the eggs ahead of time. And then I need my spatula for smearing it out on the waffle iron. Okay, so you ready to go? Here's the first thing. So we're gonna start with the protein powder. No, we're not. Put this down. We're starting with the eggs, see? Okay, 3 egg whites. So don't anybody hate on me and my kitchen skills. I start out with clean hands. I wash my hands all the time, but I am just, like, see, I just let the egg white run through my fingers and I drop it in the bowl. So egg white into the fingers, let it just drop into the bowl, and then I toss the egg yolk and I toss the shell into the trash. One more, so 3 egg whites. Now, the next thing we're going to do is give these things just a little bit of whip. We want to give it some air. Okay, so here we go. Ready? Sorry about the sound. This is where we need a music interlude, but just go ahead and give this a whip real quick. This will by far be the loudest point of this whole thing. Okay. Now, I mean, I really want to just make this as descriptive as I can for you. Do you see? That's about how they are. You know, there's not a lot of egg in there, so it's kind of hard to see, but that's about how whipped up I got it. So it's not like they're foam, they're just a little foamy. Okay, so now this is when I just start dumping everything in. I use 1 scoop of protein powder. Now let's do some breaking this thing down so you can match whatever protein powder you have. First thing, this 1 scoop for me, for what I have, is equivalent to a 1/2 cup. See what I did there? 1/2 cup. Okay, that's what 1 scoop equals. 1/2 cup of protein powder goes in with the eggs. Now let me also tell you this. 1 scoop of protein powder for what I'm using, so that you understand like where the nutritional information is coming from. This is 24 grams of protein, just with the protein powder. So this is what I would do if I were you and I was listening to something like this. If I had a different protein powder that was, say, 10 grams of protein, I would double it. I would also pay attention, does doubling it make it about a 1/2 cup? That would be what we have to pay attention to. If doubling the protein powder you have to get to about 24 means you have a full cup, we might want to think about doubling the eggs. By the way, I mean, since we're such a small group, if that's something you want to ask me offline, I can help you with, like, here's how I would start out tweaking that recipe. You know, because a lot of me getting to where this recipe works was trial and error. 3 eggs, was it 4 eggs? Was it no Greek yogurt? Was it Greek yogurt? So moving along, I use this unflavored fiber. I'm going to come back. I have this psyllium husk on the counter to talk to you about this. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk to you about this more specifically while the waffles are baking for the first time. But I use 2 pouches. Now 2 pouches equals 20 grams of fiber. So that's huge. Now let's see how big of a serving 1 pouch is in terms of like what the bulk is. So let me do this. 2 of these is right at 1/4 cup. See, you can tell, like, just a regular old schmo here, dropping stuff on the floor and goofing it up. But see, there's 1/4 cup, and 2 pouches of fiber equals about 1/4 cup. Now, that means this is 30 calories, 20 grams of fiber, 2 net carbs. 30 calories, 20 grams of fiber, 2 net carbs in 1/4 cup, okay? That might be worth like you jotting down real quick so that if we have to use a different fiber for you, we can kind of keep an idea of what the bulk is and what the nutritional count is. Okay, because I want you to be able to make these waffles, we might just have to figure it out a little bit like I did. Okay, so to make, by the way, this is all 1 serving. This is like my waffle right here. This is my lunch. It's not for 2 people. It can be, but it's 29 grams protein, 21 gram fiber, 8 net carbs, 275 calories. Like, that's awesome. Okay, so we need a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, not soda, powder. Make sure it's baking powder. We need 1 teaspoon of oil. That is, and you're gonna see me do 2 of these because I have the 1/2 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon of oil, and that helps give it a little bit of the crunch. You can always do an extra 1/2 teaspoon if you want. I do 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and then 1/3 cup of plain Greek yogurt. So get out my foggy Greek yogurt. Ugh, making a mess already. Good thing you guys can't see this. So 1/3 cup foggy Greek yogurt. Plop it in the bowl. All right, we need mixing music again. Aaron, if we would have thought this through, we would have had mixing music. Let's give this thing just a quick whip, and we want to let it set for just a second. So whip it up. When I'm serious, like back in the days when I used to golf and I would stand over a putt, I would like stick my tongue out. My coach used to catch me. I notice I still do that when I'm focusing on anything as an adult. I put my tongue out and I don't know why. Look, I'm spraying batter everywhere. Okay, let's have a looky-loo at what my batter looks like, because we're gonna get as specific as we can. So I just whipped it up. I mean, you saw the egg whites just sitting. All right, here's the batter. Oh, whoops. Some of it spilt out, but that's the consistency of the batter. How's yours? Okay, you can see, in mine, you can see the little vanilla bean flakes. Ugh, my fingers are all dewy. Erin is sitting in the background eating the waffles that I made earlier. Okay, so my waffle iron is hot. Like, listen. Do you hear that sizzle? So it's ready to go. That's how you know. And then I just give her a spray. I have the double waffle maker. And so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put one in and I'm gonna turn it over and then I'm gonna show you how I spread this to the edges. I might need you to kind of help me with this a little, Erin, to show it off with the camera. Like, take that, let's see if we can turn this a little bit. Not you, but like, let me see. This is the part I know you want to see. So let me do this first one. And then the second waffle, I will turn the cameras a little bit better so you can really see how, see, I'm taking a minute just to get it to the edges. All right. I am making a terrific mess. I don't know how those people on those cooking shows make it look like, oh, we make no mess and we just la la la. Okay, so I'm scraping like every last drop of this precious, precious stuff. Now you have to know something. I spilled a fair amount of this on the counter because this is my first ever epic cooking class. So let's see. Let's start with this one. And I want you to see, Erin, tell me if this is looking good over there on the camera. Because what I can't see is how see how I'm pushing this out to the edge? It's looking good? Okay. All right, so let's put that one back up. And then I'm gonna grab the other camera and yeah, maybe you just pull that off and then I'll let you put that back on. Okay, we have to move fast though because see what I'm doing here? I'm spreading it out to the edges. Okay, all right, you wanna clip that back on? Okay, so now we're gonna let these things bake a minute. Let them cook. And I turned it back over, by the way. All right, now let's talk about fiber. So why do we do the protein fiber waffles? Okay, in the absence of net carbs, your body's gonna burn fat for fuel. The problem is we're really just this carb society and we're taking in too many carbohydrates. So if your muscles and livers, your tank is full and you take in extra carbohydrate or net carb, it's gonna spill out into the form of body fat. So basically, you guys, I cracked the code. I found food peace. I feel so much better. I want to give it away because I want you to find a pattern of eating you can do now that you can do when you're 80. And we need to settle into that now. So if you're living a life right now where you're restricted, you're taking out your favorite foods, we haven't gotten there. So I want to teach you about protein, fat, and fiber every meal. Makes maintaining or losing weight no big deal. That way we're not on a diet yo-yo roller coaster anymore. You feel better, you feel full. That's a big part. I've been hungry my whole life. The fiber is going to cause your stomach to swell. You will feel full. It'll act like a broom and a sponge, usher extra calories and fats and toxins out of your body into the toilet bowl. Right about now, I bet you're getting 9 to 15 grams of fiber a day. If you can get up to 24 grams of fiber a day, your body's going to malabsorb about 90 calories a day, just by upping your fiber. Fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes. I'm showing you a way to get the fiber in with the unflavored fiber and the psyllium husk. That's the insoluble part of a fiber that your body can't digest. So fiber is found within a carbohydrate. It's the 0-calorie part to a carbohydrate. Your body can't break it down, but it is going to burn calories trying to break it down. So when you eat my waffles, because it has the fiber, picture this, you eat it, your stomach wakes up and starts chewing on that fiber, burning a ton of calories trying to digest it. But it can't. And instead it acts like a sponge and it soaks up all the extra that you don't need and ushers it into the toilet bowl. You guys, it's still a weight loss or weight calories in, calories out equation for whether you want weight management or weight loss. The thing is, I wanted to have weight management during the most of my adult life if I'm like right in this zone that I'm in, but I don't want to be hungry all the time. So because the fiber swells, I feel full. I feel good. And it helps me so much with maintaining my weight, but you know, like you drink too much wine or you have too many thoughtful indulgences, weight is not stagnant. My weight does not stay stagnant. So I'll go up and down 3 or 4 pounds. And when I have to pull back, the fiber is also part of helping me to be full when I'm reducing my calories. And that way my brain's not feeling like I'm constantly in restriction mode. So the fiber benefits are tremendous, but that doesn't mean that we have to eat only fruits and vegetables or only like have that mentality of I'm eating grass all the time. Fiber's great. It's found in wonderful foods. I'm trying to pull it into baked goods so that you can make out a couple swaps like I have, cook waffles this way, and they're completely guilt-free. The protein is protecting your lean muscle. Now think about like the really muscly guys that are working out and they can get away with eating so much. It's because they have so much lean muscle. Their storage tank for net carbs is a lot bigger than ours. That's why they don't have as much body fat. So what we want to do with the protein is protect and preserve our tank that we do have so that it doesn't get smaller. I mean, as part of healthy aging, we're losing 1% of muscle mass men, 0.5% of muscle mass women a year. So what we want to be doing is protecting our lean muscle, holding on to what we have, potentially growing it just a little bit, and then using the fiber to rev our metabolism. This way, you're going to age and your metabolism is going to stay where it is or get better, not get worse, which is what happens to a lot of people. I want us to be a society where we get to eat food without guilt, where we maintain our weight, we manage our weight, we don't feel stressed about food, where you understand science, where you understand biology of how to fuel your body so that you can have weight loss without hunger or maintain your weight. That's why I'm always talking about the fiber. Uh-oh, you are not gonna guess what happened. My waffle maker got a little bit unplugged. Uh-oh, you know when I turned it and I brought it up? This is such a real live TV. This might be a total bust because I have one of those tricky plugs down here and it got we'll see what happens. Yours might be ready right now. Okay, so while mine is reheating up, and I mean, look, these are the waffles I made for real, just not even an hour ago with the same recipe. So this is what should come. This is what they look like for me. This is what you should see coming out of your waffle maker. Now, if you want them, these have been out for about an hour. So you know, like if you had a bread that you warmed up and you set it out for an hour, it wouldn't be as crispy as it was in the beginning. These were crispy in the beginning. I might now put these in the toaster just to retoast them. I'm not sure what we're gonna get out of that waffle maker because I didn't have it as hot as, see, now you can see the smoke coming. We didn't notice the steam for a while. So let's talk about psyllium husk versus why I use the fiber that I use. So again, I want you to just find fiber. I want you to go to the grocery store and pull it in your house. This psyllium husk you order off Amazon. This one I've ordered from Advocare for 10 years. It's the one I know. This one I buy for me. I haven't found one I like better. This is why though. This one is 10 calories per pouch, 10 grams of fiber, 1 net carb per pouch. Okay, this one is 1 teaspoon is 4 gram fiber, 4 gram carb. So 0 net carb, 4 grams of fiber, 1 teaspoon. So what we have to think about is you need 3 servings of this, which would be 15 times 3, 45 calories would equal 1 serving of this. This is give or take, because this would give you 12 grams of fiber, this would give you 10 grams of fiber. This would give you the same equivalent bulk as 1 pouch here. So we're kind of trading apples for oranges. You get a little bit more calorie with this one, and you're going to have to use more servings, but you absolutely could use the psyllium husk. So psyllium husk is just one part of a fiber. This one has both. This has the broom and the sponge. Psyllium husk is pretty much just the sponge. The broom, just the broom. I really want this to cook. So this is what it looks like. It's more brown. That's a teaspoon, but it is fibery, but it's, why the lighting is kind of bad, but this just shows you that it's brown. This could be another alternative that you could use. I would, if I was gonna do this with just the psyllium husk, I would start out with 3 servings of this, for every 1 pouch of this. That means I would do 6 of these for 2 of these like I used in the recipe. Let me say that again. I needed 2 pouches for my recipe. I would use 6 teaspoons. That's how I would start out trying this thing. Okay. We're getting there. Man, this is like, I might have to do this again just to show you. I cannot believe I turned off my waffle maker. So, do we have any questions coming from our audience yet? Or are they just, any questions? Right. Like, I got nervous that my waffle maker turned off. I was trying so hard to make this perfect to show y'all. I had all my ingredients out. So, a couple things. If you're thinking, I really like the idea of this fiber, I really like the idea of what you're talking about, Suzanne, but you go so fast. So I wrote a program that's free, 7 days free, SOS, Sue's on your shoulder. Just go to www.carpenter180.com, sign up for 7 free days. I'm gonna send you a grocery list, not the 17-page grocery list, but it is like the girlfriend guide grocery list, the one that I use that's simple. But SOS is Sue's on your shoulder. They're daily sound bites. They're 3 to 5 minutes long, and they're bite-sized nuggets or sound bites that come right to the text of your phone. And it's what you need to know in the right order to begin to build a habit, to begin to build a different type of a lifestyle. We all feel a little bit of tension when we start shopping different at the grocery store. It can feel overwhelming. We feel a little tension trying different and new recipes. So I'm sharing the ones that we use because I'm not a great cook. I use simple recipes, but these are kid approved. It's coming along. I just might have to catch up here a little bit. So the sound bites are meant to be like the girlfriend on your shoulder, encouraging you and teaching you about the basics of nutrition because it's such an overwhelming thing. Definitely I input the Suzanity fun in it. And then if it's something you like, it's $15 a month. I wanted to make it basically something that was affordable to everybody, but it wasn't time prohibitive. 3 to 5 minutes, that's no big deal, but it can absolutely change your life. Also, Carpenter 180 is basically my love letter back to the world of what I wish I would have known when I was 20, so that I could have found peace with this a whole lot earlier in my life. And I was looking for it, and I had a hard time finding it. So once I figured out the basics for this, and I tease out numbers and amounts that you want to hit for your weight and your goals, once I figured it out, I couldn't keep it quiet. Like, I wanted to give it away. So, all right, here's what happened. Let's look at what happened on the side of my waffles because of the temperature. Here's the other side. So see, it got nice and brown. Now the crisp test, see if it'll work. You hear it? Okay, so this is indicative of what it should like. This happened because I didn't have it hot enough. They'll still taste good. So it fluffed up on one side. Okay, this second one looks a little better. Here's one side, here's the other side. So it's still not great, but I don't know, I hope you like me more because I'm real live TV and just showing you the bad perfect side of this, but that's what it turned out. So this is 2 janky waffles today, but this is 1 serving. So let me talk you through again. I'm gonna turn this waffle maker off, it's hot. I feel like I'm making dim sum up in here, like with the steam coming. So this is 29 grams of protein. This is 21 grams of fiber. Yay! Now, what's our fiber goal for the day? We want to, as women, hit 35 grams for the day. So this is gonna definitely, help get you up over the mark. Here you go, Erin. Here's a bite that broke that you can have. I'm gonna serve this up. In fact, stay with me. I'm gonna show you some of the toppings that we put on this. So it is 5 grams of fat, 275 calories, 8 net carbs, but 21 grams of fiber. So you guys, in the absence of net carb, your body will burn fat for fuel. And if you keep your net carbs below 35 grams for the day, that is for the average person, your body can store about that much in net carb. So when you eat more than that between your muscle and liver, you're probably gonna have overflow into body fat. So if you can stay 35 net carbs or lower, for the most people, between what we have in our liver and muscles for storage capacity, that's gonna leave you room to store net carbs, so your body burns fat for fuel. So don't go anywhere. Let me show you what I put on my waffles. Let me talk you through some of this stuff. Because again, you can have your waffles, you can have your treats, maybe you just change the brand that you buy. So one thing that I think you already all know that I love so much is chalk zero. So I do order this guy off of Amazon. There's a vanilla syrup that I use for a lot of my biscuits. And what else do we make? Muffins and banana bread, peanut butter cookies. We use the vanilla to do a lot of that. So now this has such small writing. Let's use the light that we have. But it is 15 gram carb, 14 gram fiber. 14 grams of fiber in a tablespoon, and it's 32 calories. So we're still watching calories in, calories out. Low calorie, high fiber, low net carb. So Chalk Zero is the syrup that we use. No more of that Aunt Jemima up in our house. So I will do a lot of times just pancakes with the syrup, or I do pancakes with Lily's brand chocolate chips. Now, Lily's brand chocolate chips, I think it's 60 chips is 60 calories. So, I mean, we do have to kind of watch the toppings because they'll add up pretty quick. But this is 8 gram carb, 4 gram fiber. So that's 4 net carbs. But it's made with the, I say it wrong, the erythritol. That's the sugar alcohol. And there's 3 grams of that. So technically, they say you can subtract that 3, which means this is 1 net carb. Let me just put this out here for an argument for another day. There are also a lot of journals out there, and there's no hard way yet. There's not been enough time to do enough studies and case studies on how the body digests the sugar alcohols. A suggestion by dietitians is whatever the sugar alcohol is, I don't want to lose friends when I say this, they're suggesting just take half away. Don't take the full amount away. So the fact that this is 3 gram erythritol, they're saying, think of it as 1.5 that you can subtract instead of 3. So do what's in your best interest. Like, let's not split hairs on that, but just in the interest of things add up. And if you're kind of tracking, I thought you might appreciate being able to consider that and maybe Google it yourself. But this is the chocolate chip topping that we use 1000%. I'm a big fan of Greek whipped cream cheese. This one I happen to find at Sprouts. This is 2 gram carb, and this is 3 grams of protein. So you're getting a little more protein with this, and it's only 45 calories. Sometimes I will just top my waffles with the cream cheese, and I'll stir in a little swerve confectioner sugar and make like monkey bread frosting. Sometimes that's what I want to do. Others is just peanut butter and chocolate chips. Sometimes the best thing to have on these waffles is just peanut butter and chocolate chip. Let me tell you this. These waffles freeze like a boss. They're great. Like, I have a pile of them right now on my counter, and whatever we don't eat will freeze. Now, I'm going to send you tomorrow or the next day the recipe for how to take similar ingredients that we have right here, take leftover waffles, and then you can make bread pudding with them. Because again, I mean, some of us, like me, every time I go to Disney World, that's what I'm looking for is a bread pudding. So it's nice to be able to have some of these things that we grew up loving, but to just healthy them up a little bit as you're embarking on this new healthier lifestyle where you're trying to keep your net carbs 35 grams or lower, so you're burning fat for fuel, where you're trying to keep your fiber 35 grams or higher so that you can lower your net carbs, and you're looking to keep moderate protein, moderate fat in your diet. So I hope you go and sign up for SOS, for the free SOS, and you can let those sound bites come your way and start getting some of the food and recipe and snack ideas that I have. I hope that this class added value. I've got a couple more in my brain that I'll do since we have time at home in the kitchen. And if you have questions, let me know. Did I get any questions, Erin? I got no questions. I'm sorry about my goofy waffle maker, but you can see it happens to the best of us. But oh, does your kitchen smell delicious? Mine is. I'm getting hungry all of a sudden. So you'll have a great Wednesday. Thank